Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Day number 663. Thank you for being here tonight, December the 18th, 2023, 9:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you guys know, I hate to be late, but today was crazy day. In addition, it was my son's 16th birthday. So we've been cooking along, preparing. Jane and I have been working all day, and I just got some video in tonight just a few minutes ago that I needed to load up and share with you because it's absolutely incredible. And it will be worth the wait, I promise you. So thank you for being here. King Raccoon, welcome to you as always, my friend. Jeffrey Burnett, moderator from out in California. Charlie Johnson jumping over here from the stream with Rick. I can tell you guys this weekend, yesterday, I streamed live with Rick, the Ukrainian. We're going to be doing more together, and you guys will see it here as well. That's almost a 5-hour stream. So that guy can talk, but man, we had an awesome stream. Many things accomplished. Raised yesterday on his stream over $3,000 to help several projects there. So it's just awesome. NATO TV War Jimbo, welcome to you. Linda Cassio, welcome to you. Larry and Debbie in the house. Hernan Conti down there in Argentina. Lynn Fireball, Harold, Mr. Baseball down in Virginia. Rick Berry, Slava Ukraina, Gerum Slava. Chuck Pinkham, San Jose, California. Mitch Ashdown, welcome to you, my Canadian friend. I don't know how I remember all this stuff, guys. I may miss them, but I think I'm right so far. Pat Shove, welcome to you. Misbehavior, Slava Ukraina. Carl Elwell, good evening from Vegas. Good evening to you. Skag, down there in Australia. Welcome to you, sir. Don Giannolini. PG Outstanding Report on Ukraine. We stand with these precious people who are showing us what freedom is all about. How many times must Trump praise Putin and other dictators before we get it? Absolutely. And for those of you that are new, we're going to have a lot of new people joining, and you can already see that they will be active in the chat, and it's just going to continue to grow. And I believe when I get to Ukraine, and we're getting very close, I will be leaving 2 weeks from tomorrow for Ukraine. We have a lot of folks in here, for all of you new guys, that are military, veterans, and like this guy here. This guy, Donald Giannolini, lived during the Soviet Union and the USSR and the Iron Curtain as a missionary in Eastern Europe. He knows Russia extremely well. He knows communism extremely well. So when this man makes comments, for all of you new guys here, you really need to pay attention to that. And, you know, I do see your comment to say, yes, it was early. You couldn't talk about politics. Just wanted to cover the war and help Ukraine. But now you cannot differentiate between the politics and the war. It's not possible. They're completely intermingled, intermixed. So you know what? Gloves off and let's go at it. So my point being, this is a preacher here, a Bible preacher, that is claiming, stating, which I agree with, why does Trump praise Putin? Putler. It's just so ignorant. Tim Ryder, what's up, my friend? That would be Mississippi. Let's see here. I know I see your comment there somewhere. I've got to go. It's so many. You guys are awesome. Ricochet, my friend, welcome to you. JDO, another moderator, welcome to you. Amy Durvey, Linesville, Pennsylvania. Nate Fody, Vacaville, California. Slava Ukraina. Mark Sangaman, yep, saw you yesterday. Welcome to you, Mark. Irene, welcome to you. Nate says it's an awesome stream. I'm halfway through it. Oh, it's epic. It's very long. So welcome to you guys. K Bell, yeah, saw you yesterday. Welcome to you. Nice. I love you being here live. So, all right, guys, here we go. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. And let's rock and roll tonight. We're going to start here. This is up until about 5 minutes ago. Khmelnytsky region under air alarm. And of course, you guys know this is our home region. And right now, over the last 60 days or so, this has been the #1 place of drone activity and missile activity. I know Kyiv has been active, but a lot of pressure being put on that Starokonstantinov air base, which is just about 40 minutes north of Khmelnytsky. So once again, up until about stream time, Khmelnytsky was still under air alarm. And maybe you're here tonight and you're going, okay, well, how can just that one region be red and none of the other regions are red? That's because this is a drone alert and the drones have already progressed. And I didn't catch it earlier. I wasn't here, whether they came in from the north or they came from the south. Most likely the south. They run along that Moldovan border typically when they're going for Khmelnytsky, which is along the Odessa region up through Vinnytsia and into the Khmelnytsky region. So the drones were in Khmelnytsky. But I can tell you as of now that as of just a few minutes ago, they've been taken care of. This is right now. So basically what happens for Khmelnytsky, if you see it, just that's red, you don't understand why. It's because typically they've come out, they've crossed over Odessa, and they run right here on this border along the Transnistria up southern Vinnytsia and trying to get up in here to Starokonstantinov. So that's what's been going on over the last couple of hours. But right now we're all clear there. So we're very happy about that. Let's go to this one. Now, I'm going to jump at a Frontline update and give you that. John Tor Gunderson. Hi all, I am new here. This seems very interesting. Slav Ukraine. Welcome to you, John. Chuck. Okay, well, you guys have those tough last names. Chuck Yamertz. New from Rick Stream. Thank you. Greetings from Northern California. Beautiful. We have lots of Northern Californians in here. And in fact, I used to live in Sacramento, actually in Folsom for about 9 years. Tridents against tyrants. Hey, Greg, agreed. We must stand with Ukraine, as Rick and I were saying yesterday, until victory. Do Paramoga. We're going to stand through for victory. Now, Frontline update tonight. Not so good. Not so good. We'll go right here. Using Johnny Pierce's map, I think it's the best one out there personally with the sources he's using. Of course, you guys know this is right on the north. If you do not know, I know it's zoomed in right now, but Kharkiv is right here. So we're going to start at the northeast and come down. Let me make sure the points are on. So I have his points on for the gains today. Ukraine's done a little, Russia's done quite a bit, and the reason is we're out of shells, guys. There's very few. So up here in the north, not much to any movement at all. On the very north, we come into the Siversk circle, nothing, everything's staying the same. We come down to this one. This is interesting. So they are pushing this line right here, and we know it's coming. We know it's coming. Right here. So you guys all know Bakhmut. Bakhmut's right here. Bakhmut completely gone and basically destroyed. But what Russia has been able to do is shore up this line right here. Right there. And why? Because they want Ivanivsky, which is here. And then they want to push into Chasiv Yar, which is here. Because that gives them access to the Kramatorsk, Slavyansk loop road that we always talk about. Very important. This is one of our major areas of working. Let me change this to a blue color and I'll explain it to you. Get rid of that. Let's go to that. And when you come into Slavyansk here, Kramatorsk here, Drushkivka here, Konstantinivka here. And there is, I'll change the color again to, how can I get to a black color? Oh, duh. Then this is the main highway. And then you have what we call the loop road right here. And it loops from Bakhmut to Slavyansk. All of this territory in here is absolute farmland, a little hilly, a few tree lines, but basically all fields. So your launching points to continue to hit, and all of these are hit, is Ivanivsky and Chasiv Yar. So that's what that line is being pushed up for there. This is one of our major areas of work. We've supported Bakhmut the entire time. We support the main hospital in this region, which I will not tell the location of, but you guys have seen the videos from the inside of the hospital where I've been in with Dr. Sasha there supporting this Frontline, very, very busy hospital there. And we will continue. So that's Bakhmut. We're going to be hearing more about this. We come down to Avdiivka. Ukraine was able to push back a little bit here on the edge of the coke plant. This is Azovstal 2. This is potential for another ugly siege here. Ukraine controls it now. Ukraine has military in all of this region, but Russia is pushing hard. However, Ukraine was able to establish a little point right there, which is good, really good. But let me delete that. And you can see on the east and the southern points. And as I told you guys before, what Russia is trying to do, and they will continue, is they want to work the river basins. So if you look out of, this is Avdiivka, and if you see all of this, it's fields, but the villages are along the rivers, and the villages are along the rivers. So this is what they'll try to take. Another good example of that, and then I'll check the chat. If you come down to Barinka, where they have taken it, it's now gone. I've showed you guys this before, and I'll show again. Lots of new guys here. Here's Marinka, which is fell. This is Donetsk. For those of you that are from Rickstream, and you guys know it's public, he puts it right on his page. He's from Makivka, which is urban Donetsk, which is right here. That's his home city right there. So if you look at Marinka right here, which just fell, there is a river basin, and it runs right there up to the lake and then on through. And you can see all the villages are along that basin. The same thing happens here out of Slavny. And then all of this is farming. So that's why this east is, it's tough. It's tough for Ukraine, and it's tough for Russia, but it's very tough for Ukraine when we're out of supplies. So that's the east. South, nothing's changed. Ukraine holding Robitny. Ukraine wants to get Verbolvi right here. It's very important. We need that town. It's very difficult to get to due to the mines and the hedge lines that are all booby trapped. But we do have Robitny, and that would allow us to push south towards Tokmak and then into Melitopol and then into Crimea. So all of that's the same. Go back to this, not that. You come along past Zaporizhia here. You come down Zaporizhia nuclear power plant here. Nothing's changed. Nikopol, this is the river we run. We help every one of these villages. You come down to Bereslav, and then you come down into Kherson. Everything stayed the same. And one of the major reasons it's staying the same is, you're going to hear this tonight, we're out of shells. And it doesn't mean we're at zero, but we're very, very low. Let me look at the chat real quick. Originally from SF Bay Area, lived in Sacramento for 6 years. Definitely large Ukrainian diaspora there in Sac. Yes, sir, there is. Lots of friends there. Sacramento, Vancouver, Washington, Portland, Oregon. That area looks just like central Illinois. It really does. And Iowa, that's what it looks like. Let's see here. Chuck, is the wreckage from all the destroyed Russian equipment helping to slow the advance due to its obstructing routes of travel? So I can tell you from my experience being there and seeing hundreds of destroyed vehicles, salvaging through them with military to grab trophies, the tanks, the T-72s, no, because let me explain this to you. Ukraine is very complicated geographically on the war fronts. So out in the east and in the south, you have, you know what? Let me do this on a map. Okay. I'm going to do it right here in the south. Let's go to a map, and that's a great question. It's a great question, and I'll answer it, and I'm confident in my answer. So this is Zaporizhia right here. So you guys know well that we do lots of work in Orikhiv right here. And Orikhiv, the guys that we help there, that you help there by being here with us, they're the guys that have made this push. I mean, the 95th is there. We work with the 95th. They are incredible soldiers. There was some Azov there. I mean, very high level troops here coming out of Orikhiv. Okay. So this is the way it is. The way we get to Orikhiv is we come down this main road here into Orikhiv. And that's what we do. Then there is a main road that goes up, and it goes back to the road that connects Zaporizhia and Novovasilica over to the east, or going towards Donetsk. Then there's another main road that runs to Shcherbaki and over to Stepovi. Okay. That's it. There are no other paved roads. Everything else is dirt or destroyed pavement, and maybe 50 meters is paved, and then 500 meters is dirt and mud. So in this region right here, I am 100% telling you the absolute truth and the absolute perfect description. That is a massive amount of territory with very little infrastructure roads. So to answer your question, if equipment is blocking, Ukraine just builds another road. Russia does the same. They just go out into the fields, pack it down, and create a road. So guys, there are roads everywhere. Dirt roads, through farmers' fields, through ditches. It's the most unbelievable sight that I've ever seen. We do a lot of rolling through those roads with military because it's the safest route to go. And we roll with those guys. And you go past destroyed equipment from both sides constantly. But no, it doesn't impede travel. They just make a new road. So I hope that helps. Appreciate that question. I love to answer questions and help you guys understand. So, yeah, I was on Rick the Ukrainian. That's where I met you. So, all right, let's keep going here, guys. This one, you know what? Well, this is what I was telling you. So you had the fuel gauge there full and empty. This is where we're at right now. We're basically empty. 120 millimeter and 155 millimeter. And you guys, especially you guys here in America, and I see you there, Tone Otteson. Welcome to you, my friend. Appreciate your kind comment earlier. this is what I heard, but I was with my son at his birthday party, so I got back in late. So if any Americans in here, or you guys from other nations that you've been watching the American news, if you've heard, the last I heard is that no decisions were made today on support or coming to agreement between Ukrainian support, Israeli support, and the American border. And they do not know how it's going to look going forward. Hopefully more aid comes before the end of the year. That's the last I heard. So we'll see. But I can tell you right now, Ukraine's extremely low. Extremely low. If you're going to wake up in the middle of the night, Petra Olson from Sweden, you're going to get a big hello. God bless you. All you guys that can't sleep, I feel your pain, because when I get in Ukraine in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be streaming in the middle of the night, because I'm going to try to keep streams as possible at normal times for the guys here in the U.S. as well. And we're going to be very, very active. We're packing the gear up now, preparing, and it's going to be crazy what we're going to be doing. If you're here and you're just watching and you haven't subscribed, if you're commenting, you've subscribed, and I appreciate that deeply. Thank you for hitting the like buttons. All these things work. I'm learning all that stuff. Learning from all these other folks, and it's been a blessing. And I really have to say a thanks to King Raccoon. You started it. So Ricochet, one more and that's it. Okay, that's what I thought. So one more drop and then that's it. You're going to hear actually Dictator Putler speak about that in a minute. I've got something translated for you guys. So here, we're low on shells, a mess. So, your question tonight about the equipment and Prepper, I'll answer that in just a second. I know the answer to that one. Okay. Here's a perfect explanation. This is the front. Here is the front. I mean, can you look at this? He's saying, look down there. Do you see it? We need that piece. Grab it. Guys, I hope that helps you understand, from that question there. It's crazy. Now that troop carrier there is Ukrainian, actually, and I've rode in those. I've actually drove one of those, but I couldn't imagine that much water being in it, because inside that thing you have two metal benches that go up. It's a troop carrier, and then there's a metal wall, and then you go around that wall and you come to the pilot, whatever, the driver and the co-driver. There's two seats there. It probably carry a dozen guys. I couldn't imagine, but that's a great question. And, for you guys that are new here, I'm so thankful for you. We're able to kind of be flexible, and I love to interact with the chat. Yes, Ricochet will keep all four wheels on the ground this time. Absolutely. We flipped our vehicle last time. Prepper. What are your thoughts on Ukrainian Marines reporting that the foothold in Krinky is nearly untenable, is only being held through extreme losses on their side? That's a fact. So that's a fact. I'll take. Some people may not know what we're talking about there. So if we come back to the map here, let me do this. That question is about Krinky, and Krinky is down here between Kherson and Berislav, and it's actually directly across from Taginka. For those of you that were here when we had Fish live, and remember when he said, Greg, Taginka is destroyed. So we can talk about this now because he's not there anymore. But this is the city where he was basing out of, Fish. And of course, if you're here, you know you're working here. It's logical, right? So we know this area well. We get our information from Ukrainian military. So yes, Ukraine is holding on to this right here, but it is at extreme loss. And to be quite honest, it's pretty ignorant. I know they have to have some reason, but there is some internal bickering going on about some of the strategies that is happening in places like this, where some leaders like Zaluzhny, whom is the supreme commander, and he's a good guy, is saying, listen, we can't keep sacrificing our guys like the Russian meat grinders do. They have basically unlimited. They'll just drag anybody out there. We will run out of guys. So we need to adjust some of our frontline activities that we're doing until we can be resupplied, get into this winter, and then figure out how we're going to defend and be offensive. So yes, they are holding there, but it's very, very expensive. Now, Ukraine's got this new drone. It's called the AQ-400 Scythe. And if you look at the bottom picture there, it basically looks like some cheesy metal and Ukrainian trident and a little propeller engine on it and some wheels from a hobby thing. And basically that's what it is. There's plywood in that construction. It's very easy to manufacture right now. Ukraine is manufacturing about 100 a month. Their next emphasis is to push this to 500 a month. Right now, a majority of the components in this drone are from Germany, and Ukraine is saying we can also manufacture these for ourselves as well. We're trying to become more self-sufficient, and they want to ramp this drone up for the next level, to 500 per month and then on, because Russia right now, they're running their drone factories 24/7. They're on war economy standing. So now this has a 2.3 meter wingspan. I'll play you a little video of it flying, weighs 100 kilograms. It can carry, now this is what's cool, it can carry 43 kilograms of payload, whether that's going to be optics and equipment, cameras, or munitions. It's really pretty good. Cruise speed, 144 kilometers per hour. It can stay in the air for 6.5 hours, and it has a range of 750 kilometers, which from the Chernihiv region can hit Moscow. So this is good. And you want to hear it? This is what the Shaheeds sound like when they fly over your head, right here. So there you have it, guys. That's the Scythe drone, and really cool. Scottish Pope, thank you for that, sir. Wonderful. Not wonderful, but thank you for the information. Russian drones number around 16,000 a month. Let's see. I love this. This is what makes this so good. So Don Gentilini says, all right, you know what? let's pray, because when Greg and Jania get together here and they start running these front, they get a little bit of crazy. And then the Sade comes back, says, well, I don't pray, but every time I see Mr. Terry without his gear on while in Ukrainian backlines, front lines, sidelines, I'll be sure to point it out and remind him. So to both of you, Don, you pray, and to Sade, you remind, and together we make a great team. I love it. You guys rock. But that's the beauty. You know, I think that is why these connections that we're making, like with Rick, of course, that one's personal. When I started talking to Rick, I know he's Ukrainian. He knows that I know Ukraine because he's Ukrainian, and I know that he's a real Ukrainian. So we really hit it off. And then Johnny Pierce, a leftist, atheist, philosopher, the absolute opposite of me. But look how much we agree on. Me and Johnny are buddies. We're messaging about every day and working on new streams together. That's the beauty. It's like I told on Rick yesterday. If we can just eliminate the stuff that separates us and concentrate on the stuff that unites us, we can do some amazing things. So thank you for all of that, guys. So we all know drone war. Now, mobilization concerns. Not only is there disagreements in the upper leadership all the way to Zaluzhny about some of the tactics that some of the front commanders are using. In Zaluzhny's opinion, we're sacrificing a few too many troops right now that we shouldn't. We have to be careful. We do not have the supply, and they do. Additionally, there's mobilization differences right now. And up to this moment, 4:40 a.m. in Ukraine, there is no final agreement on how the next mobilization will look. There's many points that are being talked about, many points that are being discussed: age, education, female, male, all of these things are on the table, but there's no final words on those. But there's definitely some differences of opinion in the upper leadership of Ukraine. And all we can do is, like I tell you, we're not going to just try to shoot out stuff and conjecture or try to predict it. We're just going to wait and see. It's the best way to do it in the most accurate way. So now, speaking of Zaluzhny, over the last 24 hours, they have removed 2 bugs and listening devices in his work offices. One in an office he was working in, and another in an office he was moving to work in. So you may say, well, doesn't he have one office? No, he has a lot of offices. He's never in the same spot for more than a day. So, like, he's the supreme commander of the Ukrainian forces. He's not going to 123 Main Street every day for his office. There's collaborators, there's spies, there's bugs, there's FSB, there's KGB, there's everything, whatever you want to call them. There's collaborators. He doesn't just go to the same place. He's a target. He's a high value target. So he'll be in one location for a day or two, and then he'll be 3 kilometers away in another part of Kyiv, or he's on a trip down to Zaporizhia. That man right there is always being rotated around. So it's interesting, not so much that there was a bug listening device found in the office he had been working in for a couple of days, but upon moving into the new office today, they found another bug. So they're hunting how, and of course it's going to be collaboration inside. So we'll wait and see. All I can tell you is there was a bug in the older office and there was a bug in the newer office. So they got there some way. Now Poland, guys, I am so confused on Poland. The new prime minister, Donald Tusk. Donald Tusk. Is it Turk or Tusk? Tusk, I think. I'm fixing this. Everything's going to be fine. And he did. He started working toward that, and we'll fix the border. And Ukraine and Poland had an agreement between the nations. Done deal. And we had some movement there for a while. About 1,200 trucks got through. Well, the court overruled it. You know, a very American thing to happen in Poland there. The court overruled, and therefore the truckers were able to protest again because of the court ruling. But now, beginning just a few hours ago, they've reblocked all 4 borders. And the truckers union, the truckers organizations are saying, we're staying here until March the 8th. We're going to stay here the entire winter. Now, what's going to happen? Tusk, thank you. Irene, thank you. Rick Berry, there's a mole in his staff going back to Zaluzhny. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's lots of moles everywhere. That's the danger. I don't have an answer other than what we've already discussed. Russia really working hard to keep this border locked down. There's military aid at the border. There's drone components at the border. There are tourniquets. There are chest compresses. There is food. There is clothing. There is everything stuck at that border. And no, they're not getting through. Oh, well, this is a military truck letting through. They're not getting through. So this is really a major problem. And I just don't get it. But you know, it's like the rest of the world. We have border issues everywhere, and it's really, it's where we're at. But I don't get that one. We'll see. We'll see. We could change tomorrow, and if it does, I'll tell you. But as of right now, this is the deal. We'll see. Pootler, I've got a couple of videos here that I'm going to share with you. 3 specifically. Really interesting. So Putin came out in the last 24 hours and basically said it will be a really major mistake for Finland to join NATO. We will have to now re-strengthen, and this is what he calls it, our Leningrad military region. The last time I checked history and maps and Russian geography, Leningrad was renamed St. Petersburg, but he calls it the Leningrad military region. So it's a major mistake. So his personal reporter there, Zarubin, was asking him some questions about NATO, about Biden, and I've got it here for you. So
they said that the United States is pursuing an imperial policy. Biden proclaims that if Putin isn't stopped in Ukraine, then Russia will attack NATO.
This is complete nonsense. I believe President Biden knows this. It's just a rhetorical tactic to justify his mistaken policy regarding Russia. It's erroneous because I don't think that the United States, considering its future in world affairs, is as interested as... We have no desire to sour our relations with them. We are interested in fostering these relationships. And yet they dragged Finland into NATO. We had some disputes with Finland, all of which, including those of a territorial nature in the mid-20th century, have been resolved. It's all long settled. We had the kindest, warmest relations. Economically, everything was progressing. There were some issues in the forestry sector connected with the need to develop timber processing domestically. But that's all nonsense, trivialities. There were no problems. But now there will be, because they are placing the Leningrad military district and military units there. Why do they require this? It's mere nonsense. It's the same with other countries, including NATO nations. We have some issues with them, but not with any in particular. They're artificially creating problems with us because they don't want Russia as such a strong competitor.
I see you guys are so smart in here. You know, we drug Finland into NATO. And it's, you're just really making a mistake, because we have no ill intentions to anybody. They just want to cripple us as Russia from being a strong nation. You guys, if you're here on day 663, you really love Ukraine and you're standing for righteousness and justice and truth. You then probably remember back to pre-February 2022, specifically January 22, December and November of 2021, when Russia was building up on the border massively. And Putler would say, we're never going to invade Ukraine. We have no ill intentions toward Ukraine. We're just doing maneuvers. Remember that? We have no desire to come after Ukraine. The same exact thing he just said about Finland. He says about Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Come on, guys. It's not rocket science, and you know it. Now, additionally, just so you guys are aware, Vladimir Putin has thrown his hat into the ring to become the next president of Russia. I'm sure it'll be a very stiff race. And but he officially put on the show. I'm going to play you 2 clips just so you see it. But there's one thing I want you to pay attention to. There are 2 symbols in this war that Ukrainians hate. And what are they? They are the Z. Many are equating that to the Second World War with the German Nazi swastika. So that's Z. And then there's another letter. It's V. Okay. You say, well, what does Ukraine use? They use a cross. I'm just telling you. So, not a T. They use a cross. So, V. Every piece of equipment will either have a V or a Z. In fact, the patches that I received as a gift from a Azov guy that he removed from an invader, I have everything. Name, all the patches, and his patch had the V. Okay, so the V is no bueno. Look at their election here. I'll play in a second. So what this says is, the registration for the president of Russia and the elections for the president of Russia, the 15th through the 17th of March, 2024. That's what's on the back. So Putin's coming in now with his official documents and his representative to officially apply to be the president. Look on the man and the lady's jackets, the big V. Look at the logo of the election, the V. It's maddening. So there he's talking. Now I'm going to give you another one here. I'll translate a little of this one for you. Unbelievable. I'll translate it. Here we go. Good afternoon, Vladimir. Welcome to the Election Commission. This is my colleague, Irina. My name is Sergey. And we're working with your documents as you apply for president. May I have your passport? Yes, you may have my passport. Okay, that's you. Now, do you have your documents prepared? Okay, so today we will receive and accept your documents after review. Look at the V's, guys. Okay, so you also know there are other documents that we're going to need for the application of president, and we need all relevant documents electronically, and he gives her the USB drive. Okay, once we do all this, we'll give you back a copy of the documents. Well, there's some letters in there and some family names. Just make sure you understand what's been written and transferred. Just wanted to make sure you understood. Can you? I love being able to translate that for you guys. Oh, but you see the V? And yeah, the O early in the war, guys, and the Z. Let's just put the show on. Now, who saw that video? Well, not only you tonight saw it, and I translated it for you, but every Russian saw that. It's all on the state TV. They watched him come. Can you believe that guy? I need to see your passport. I mean, it's reality. So for those of you that are here new, these are a lot of the things that I like to try and share because I want people to understand that we really are witnessing a dictatorship, a terrorist regime. This is how terrorists operate. This is how dictators operate. I mean, do you really think Putler needed to go in there and drop the documents? Of course not. It's all for the show. It's all for the show, and they're masters of the show. All right. Now, I'm going to give you a piece of video, and this is the one. This is the reason I was late. I'm starting. This guy that you see here on the right, his name is Taras Shmut. Okay, Taras Shmut. And he is a patriot of Ukraine. He is a wonderful person. He has a foundation. I think in Ukrainian it's called Povernis Zvim. Povernis Zvim. Povernis Zvim. That's how you say it. Which translates Come Back Alive Foundation. Now, we, through you guys' gratefulness, for example, we're buying the drones, and I've got other good news for you tonight. You guys have donated so much just through our little streams here. And I'm just talking about here, not the stuff that comes in through our church. We just bought a scope for another sniper. I'll tell you the story in just a second. You know, but this guy's organization, Come Back Alive Foundation, they buy tanks. They buy, you name it. I mean, this guy's a patriot. He meets with Zaluzhny and is he's a huge help for Ukraine. A really good guy. He knows the war. But he made some statements that are strong and clear. And I want to play those for you tonight. And that is why I was waiting to get this uploaded from Zhenya. We've got it translated. We've got subtitles. This is powerful. And you can say, okay, what's this guy's history? So I was talking to Zhenya about him. He said that this guy here, Taras, was on Maidan supporting Ukraine. You know, he's been working that hard since Maidan. I remind you that our partner, and if you guys here are new, you'll see him on streams with me all the time, Zhenya. He's actually a little under the weather right now, but doing okay. Zhenya said, you know, I was on Maidan. Taras was on Maidan. We're fighting for our country. He started this foundation, and it just exploded in helping Ukraine. So this guy's a patriot. This guy has military experience. This guy knows war. This guy knows it all. And his insights, interesting. Here it is.
The further the war gets from Kiev, the less everyone seems to
Oh, sorry. Wrong button. Do it again.
care about it. If we want to win this war, we must plan 2, 3, 5 steps ahead.
5 кроків вперед.
We have to consider what we can do for the coming year, or even better, what we can do in a year's time. And maybe then, if we start planning like that, we'll approach things a bit differently in this country. And as a result, we'll have a slightly better chance of winning this war. We need to think about how to ensure that we don't get wiped out. The key problem now is the lack of people. A lot of people have left, a lot of people have been mobilized, they serve, die, get wounded. The nation-state system is such that it makes something impossible. You can't plan for a year because there's just no time. You need to undertake tasks, essentially. But you need to do enough for a person to complete the task and survive. Her life, because her life is more valuable to Ukraine than to the Russians. If we squander people like them, and in some places it happens, then unfortunately, we'll simply be finished mathematically. Whatever we say, but this is a country that mass produces airplanes, ships, submarines, helicopters, tanks, artillery, ammunition. They have complex gunpowder and explosives chemistry. They have aviation, ammunition, winged missiles, ballistic missiles, which we unfortunately have far fewer. We are the only one currently involved in a full-scale war with a stronger enemy, and we haven't lost it yet. All other countries are interested in learning from our experience. We are a testing ground for Western technologies, Western solutions, Western equipment. This is the battlefield. This is the future war. It is happening in Ukraine right now. We are at the beginning, and it was right. We are hoping for a quick end to the war, and then suffered from unmet expectations and great disappointments. Against this backdrop, the Russians and the internal forces that play along with them to varying degrees, consciously or unconsciously. This leads to a polarization of society, its destabilization, and to some extent despair. A lot of people are now playing politics, forgetting that it's too early for us to split anything. We haven't won anything yet. And this can lead to inevitable negative consequences for us at some point. First and foremost, Russia needs to be neutralized as a threat to Ukraine. This is key. And this can be achieved through the disintegration of Russia's individual subjects, and through depriving them of nuclear status, and through simplicity. In any case, as long as Russia is a strong state on the world stage, Ukraine cannot feel safe.
And of course, that's Radio Svoboda with that. You know, listen, that was worth being 7-8 minutes late starting to stream. That's Taras Shmut. And you hear how intelligent and how logical and concise these guys are. The guy knows what he's talking about. And did you hear a little bit of the talk there about we have to be careful about losing our soldiers and fighting the same way? We're limited. They're unlimited. This is a lot of the stuff I was talking about earlier. Lloyd Austin agrees with Taras 100%. Yeah, Taras, spot on and powerful. What's the deal with Putin's arm? Mark. Okay, so, you know, we followed this very, very early and nonstop. When the world was saying that the black briefcase, you know, a year ago was for his stool samples, and that the doctor was there hidden among the guys, and I kept telling everybody, none of that's true. None of that's true. They said, oh, Putin, remember Putin died? And then, he's going to die in 2 weeks. And listen, Putin has a little bit of Parkinson's. Okay, he does, but he's relatively healthy, guys. He's relatively healthy. Trident, thank you for that super chat there. Every penny, all of that goes to Ukraine. In fact, I'm going to show you something we're doing with these Just a second. Any opinions on UA freedom war bonds for foreigners? I do not have an opinion on that. But I'll tell you what, if you will remember that, and if you were to shoot me a message in Ukraine, I'll do some investigation for you. I don't have an answer for that. So thank you for that. You guys are awesome. So I thought you would enjoy Taras. Now, here's what you're going to enjoy as we're closing out for tonight's update. Our guys, and our guys are your guys. Right there. There's the fish. Sergey. That's his real name. Fish. My friends, Fish sent this to me and said, man, I just got an award. I got it from Zaluzhny. He received the Golden Cross for valor. Hey, we run with the big guys. Susie Q, thank you. The Fish is going, hey, it goes right to help Fish. We keep him stocked up. But listen, he received the Golden Cross of Valor. So when we tell you, we had him on here, when he's just awesome. And now when I'm in Ukraine, he says, man, when's our next stream? I loved it. I want to do it again. So you're going to see and hear, and you'll be with us with Fish. So want to give a big congratulations to our friend. That is a hero. I guess you guys have figured it out now. When the man's sitting there with his rifle, he is a sniper. And he's unbelievable. I've been to the range with him.
Slava Ukraini!
So that's our tribute for Fish. And yes, he will be watching this. Due to your guys giving, just like people have been giving super chats tonight, we just purchased, and I'm waiting for it to arrive at my house. This is not the scope I would have purchased. I am a hunter. I do a lot with guns, but this is the exact scope a certain soldier wanted. He needed the Vector Constantine 30 millimeter, 8x24 for some reason. Now, this is where it gets cool with this story. This is not our soldier, but this is our auto mechanic. So you guys know we have a Nissan Navara 4x4 truck, just like a lot of the military uses. Ours is black. You see it on our videos. We now have night vision in it, and we're very safe now. That thing is awesome. You guys have helped us repair it, equip it to keep us alive and to keep us helping these heroes on the front. So we have an auto mechanic in our city, Khmelnytsky, who services our vehicle. And because we serve the military on the front, he says, I will never charge you anything. I'm going to support my country through you going to the front lines. So Zhenya just had it. We just had some bushings repaired in our vehicle, and the guy did it. And what was interesting was this. Zhenya went to him and said, listen, we know, this is your ministry or your gift to your country, keeping us on the road and our vehicle safe, but we've got to pay you something. And Zhenya said, I was fighting with him. Like, let me give you some money. You still have a business. He's fighting. Okay. And then finally the man says, okay, I'm not going to take any of your money, but I have a friend/family member on the front, and he desperately needs a Vector Constantine, the 8x24. It's the exact scope he's requesting. Zhenya called me, says, can you buy one of these in the US? I said, heck yeah, man. Bought it that second. You bought it. All of you guys giving, all of you guys donating, you bought it. And all these donations coming in here right now. Chuck Yammerts, thank you, my friend. Be off to see you do a live stream with Jake Bro. Okay, I need to connect with Jake Bro. You're like the 10th person that says that. Now, Professor Gertis, I've streamed with. In fact, I'm going to have Professor Gertis on live with me, hopefully, before I go to Ukraine. We're talking about it. And Operator Starsky, I'm trying to meet. So, hey, we got it cooking with Johnny, with Rick, with Professor Gertis. If you want to be really weird, since you know these guys, Chuck, would you believe that Professor Gertis and I, when he reached out to me, and then I reached back to him, we knew so many common people, it was crazy. So, it's just amazing. Peter Antipas, thank you guys. Welcome. This is what we're doing. And there's King Raccoon, thank you. Greg, any news about Warthog and the trolls getting the channel taken down by YouTube? I'll answer that in just a second. We're going to talk about that. I didn't forget. Yes, Jake Bro, real deal. Awesome. Skeg, thank you from down in Australia. We've got to keep that man in bullets. Don't worry. We're going to keep. Okay, so Jake is in Vegas. JDO, scopes not necessarily come with scope rings. Oh, yeah, I got the rings. I'm a hunter, man. We got him taken care of. But thank you, JDO, for that reminder. Jake is in Vegas. All right, Carl Elwell, find Jake for me, and we'll connect. How many days before you're in Ukraine? Susie Q, I leave. Okay, so here we go. CZ, Pastor Greg, you guys are flying tonight. Can probably connect you to Operator Starsky. Cool, we can make that happen. How many days before you're in Ukraine? I leave for Ukraine January the 2nd. I'll be there until March the 13th. Stephen Phelps, this man's connected to Ukraine deeply. Fish ammo, don't you guys worry. And here's the thing. For a fact he has a Picatinny. Yes, sir. In fact, we were specifically told by the guy, we just need the scope. But I did get the mount and the rings, so we should be good. But I will confirm it. Peter, thank you for that. Stephen, thank you. Yes, Susie, I'll be there for 3 months running the front lines. Starsky was at Maidan, I believe, at Gostomel. Okay, so we'll connect that through Rick, and I'll see if I can reach out to Jake. And then also we've got our man on the ground there, Carl Elwell. So guys, thank you. This is all going to those guys. And here's the cool thing for all of you that are new. This is what I do. What else fish need? Fish just needs bullets. Listen, the 338 is just hard to get there. We have a source and we roll them. What's the cutoff for Amazon? The cutoff for Amazon is December 24, 25. Tridents against tyrants. If you ever want to co-stream sometime, let me know. I also occasionally stream the director of humanitarian NGO travels came from Texas regularly since 2014. Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. So, would you please send me an email? I won't let my guard down, Susie. Thank you. Would you please send me an email? So just go to, I'll show you right here. And you guys hang on. I'm getting ready to show you a video that's going to touch your heart. I promise you. If you'll just go here, Trident, and hit contact. Let me get that out of the way. And right here is the information. And if you just put it in here, it'll come straight to me. There we are right on the front. Okay. You guys want, okay. Oh my goodness. So that was 40 pounds ago, 50 pounds ago. But you see this picture right here? So there's Zhenya, my partner. This is our partner. This is Kherson area, Mykolaiv, Kherson down the front. You see this guy right here? Okay. This is commander of special forces. And this is the guy right here that we had dinner and we were playing with the drones and the guns and we were hanging out. And it's the video where I was drinking the coffee and I said, come to heaven, it's Ukraine. That's the commander. Okay. This is the commander that took his group out. It was 13 of them total, 12 plus him. He's the only one that survived. Now, this picture was taken about 2 days before that happened. But that is the commander, and he gave permission for his picture to be on our site. So it's reality. So thank you for that, guys. NATO TV War Jimbo, buddy, I agree with you. I agree with you. I may be missing some of you stuff. Okay, Trident, you're going to send me an email. Tone, please do that. We'll make that happen. That would be awesome to connect with Starsky. This is how it works, guys. It's just awesome. Now, here we go. Last thing for tonight. And tonight has been awesome. We created a new banner. Stand with Ukraine. I think that's pretty cool. And I had the other one up there, but we changed it to that. And who created that graphic today? Volodymyr Zelensky. Yeah, Volodymyr Zelensky right here. He does a lot of my graphics and a lot of my design work. And I know that's Volodymyr Zelensky, and that's Volodymyr Zelensky. So this is Zolik. You guys will see him. He'll be on stream with me when I get there. And for all of you new guys, that's Jania, my partner. That's me 50 pounds ago. This is all of our church administration here. All of our donations that come through that site to the penny plus gets sent to Ukraine. To this point, we're pushing $250,000 of aid. Shelter is our refugee center. Vova is my video producer and translation. Territory Svet is our youth camp, which you're getting ready to see. Hang on. This is the guys that help me with my cameras. They're a great company. This is my broadcast engineer, and Brian does IT. So these people love Ukraine, and all work together. This is a team effort, and it's serious. Now, with that said, where's your swag today, Greg? Disappointed. Prepper, thank you. Greg, do you drink kvass? And if so, which brand do you like? I do drink kvass. And so I don't know how to explain this. I don't have a preference on the brand. I actually like homemade. So evidently you know something about that region, Prepper. I actually would drink kvass out of the cooler that they would have on the road back in the days. But I like all of those. So thank you for that. Okay, last thing, and this is worth it. Today, our guys now what you're going to see here is part of our team unloading supplies, taking them into our warehouse. So right now, over the next 10, 14 days, they're really loading our warehouse because once I get there, Jane and I start rolling. But here's a little video of that. Now, in this video, pay attention. You're going to see a power bank with a QR code on it. Just, there's a reason I'm telling you that. Here you go. These are all our team members.
Hello. Треба сказати hello.
He says say hello.
Во, бач. Посмішки.
So they'll start taking it all apart, putting them into the packets, putting them into the boxes so you can see chest kits, trauma bandages, tourniquets, power banks. Now, do you look right there? I paused it. You see the QR code. Just remember that. Of camo nets we make, that one's being delivered.
Тигран, я намагаюсь твою посмішку типу зловити.
Some of our toys, trophies. So there's that. Now, the QR code on the power bank. First of all, you're going to see the power bank delivered. Here you go.
Дуже дякуємо всім, хто долучився на збір на оці прекрасні павербанки. Ми дякуємо вам за енергію, яку ви нам даруєте. Це дуже потрібно. Ви найкращі.
So there you have it, guys. That thanks is not to me only. That thanks is to you. Now, last thing. Remember the QR code. I told you guys, everything we donate that goes to the front, to the soldiers, we now put QR codes on it. So the soldiers at the front take their mobile device, many times through Starlink, they hit the QR code, and this is the video that they see. It is from our summer camp for kids who lost their parents in the war as soldiers or refugees, and this is what they see.
Я малювала це військовим.
Бо ти можеш прямо повернутися і сказати, вони будуть дивитися це.
Дякую, що оберігаєте нас. Ми вас сильно дуже любимо повертатись живими. Пока.
Я намалювала це соняшники, а це небо. І хотіла би, щоб вам він сподобався, щоб покращити вам настрій. Дякую вам за те, що захищаєте нас.
Це малюнок означає, що під кожною українською дівчинкою чи хлопчиком стоїть воїн, а за ним Бог. Це я нарисувала прапор України в річці. Просто для...
Це як острів такий?
Так.
Ну і ти можеш подивитися і зараз звернутися до наших військових.
Я вас дуже люблю і хочу, щоб всі залишились живі і вернулися на родину. Україна переможе.
Супер.
There you have it, guys. That will absolutely mess you up, but that is reality. And that's not just our work. That's your work. We're together. And I'm going to tell you, Fish watches this stream, so his group watches it. They can't understand everything, but they watch it, and they watch the comments, and they see the hearts, and they're seeing it. I'm telling you. They feel it, they see it, and we appreciate everything you do. And I just want you to see the complexity of how we operate. So thank you, and we appreciate all of you guys. Where can we get a copy of this to share? Okay, so let me okay, you know what that means, don't you, Tim? Wants everyone to stay alive. Yeah. Okay, so Tim, here's what I'm gonna do. When people ask me a question, I need to remember it. I write it on my little notepad. Okay, Tim, QR code for next stream. Okay, sir, you give me till Wednesday night. I'll get Zhenya to send me a high quality of that QR code. I'll put it in the stream as a slide, and you'll have it. So there you go. All right, guys, we bless you. We thank you for all that you do. What a great, great stream. For all of you that gave super chats tonight, you're buying fish bullets, and you're buying drones, and you're buying optics, and we're helping. We're doing our part. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the new guys. Really appreciate you deeply. Appreciate you for reaching out, wanting to do other types of streams, hook us with other people. That's the only way it's going to work. Like we're discussing on Rick's yesterday, it is a grassroots effort of humanity. It doesn't have to do with what side of any aisle you're on, but you stand for what's right. And together we stand for what's right. You guys be blessed. We'll see you in 48 hours, if not before. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern. Unless something goes sideways, we'll go live at any moment. So make sure you have that notification on. And if you were here watching, thank you for hitting that like button. Makes a big difference. Skeg, more arts and crafts for the kids. Done. Thank you, Skeg. All right, boys, be blessed, and we'll see you in 48 hours. Here's your outro.
Слава Україні!